Good afternoon, all of you.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. When is the lab? Where is Deep? Why is Deep missing from the last two classes? This, what happened to him?
Ma'am, he took vaccine few days ago.
Oh, so Deep must be well. What happened? He's not keeping well after the vaccine.
He was having something like fever
Okay,
sometimes.
okay. So the lab on the lab is on Tuesday. Yeah. So on Tuesday, I want all of you ready with the audience analysis presentation. Do you still remember what you have to do for the lab?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you have to form groups of 3 or 4 people. There might be uh, teams of teams consisting of 3 or 4 members, and each team will have to do an audience analysis for a product. For any product from household. Uh, Wait a minute. Why, Alex Farida? Where are you? You look so goofy. Okay. Uh, so you have to design a PowerPoint presentation. I mean, each group, each team member. Please give your names. I hope by the weekend Deep gets well. So please give your names of your team members to Deep, and each group will design one PowerPoint slides consisting of the name of the product. And if you want to be a little innovative, you can design your own logo and give a name specific, a different name to your product. And the next slides would consist of a questionnaire of at least 6 questions, not less than that. 2 scale type, 2 open-ended, and 2 fixed alternative. Yeah. After the questionnaire, you have to analyze the product like this with 8 slides. The first slide talking about analysis, the second one understanding. I think you have taken a screenshot of these slides. The first one analysis, the second understanding demographic, interest, environment, need, customization. So 8 slides like this. You'll have to design for your own respective products. Is this clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And your questionnaire must look something like The first two questions are fixed alternative questions, if you can see this. The second two are scale type questions, and the last two are open-ended questions. This is the least that you can prepare, least number of questions that you can prepare for your audience analysis, survey questions. So I think I'm very, I think I'm clear in my instruction. Clarity is very important. So
Excuse me, ma'am.
each, yeah.
Ma'am, we have to represent these questions to the mean everybody, and they should answer it. They have to answer these questions.
No. It is just a sample questionnaire which suggests that you have created and designed a questionnaire like this for so-called survey, which you
Okay,
are
ma'am.
not going to do anyway.
Okay, ma'am.
But the objective is the what each group member. I mean, first you have to divide yourself from teams of 4 members, at best 4 members each. Now the team members will have to give their names to Deep. I think he'll be okay within a couple of days. I think so. If he's not, then someone else can take up this assignment. So after that, each team member will see. I wanted to do a breakout session for you, but that's not quite possible because I don't host the meeting. I'm not the moderator, so I can't make breakout rooms here. But in the lab, usually what we do is we make breakout rooms, which is not possible here with in this meet because I don't moderate. So you better do it at home and come. So each member, each team will have to design one PowerPoint slide show consisting of at least 10 slides. Please listen to this very carefully because your CR won't be there to clarify it later. So please listen to this carefully. If you have any doubts, any clarification, any queries, ask it to me right now. Because on Tuesday, I'm going to see this activity. Each
Ma'am,
group, yeah,
ma'am, I have a doubt. Can you explain the understanding part of the analysis?
I'll come to that. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Let me first tell you the modalities and then I'll come to that. So each team will have to design a PowerPoint slide, at least of 10 slides, running to 10 slides. The first slide will depict the product and I mean the name of the product and the logo. If you want to be a little creative or innovative, you can also design the logo of the product. And please don't lift the brand names that we already have in the market. You can think of a product and rename it. Give your own name, whatever name you want to, and design a logo. That's slide number 1, and the subsequent slides will have the questionnaires, sample questionnaire. You are not expected to give the response to it because it is a survey question. So we're not doing that. It's just a sample questionnaire that you have designed that suits the product, the demographic data of your audience. The after the questionnaire can be placed before or after the analysis, and subsequently 8 more slides to be done like this. Eight slides analyzing your product, the audience. So there are 8 items here on the list. If you have not taken a screenshot, do it now, because this is going to guide you through. This is how you're going to design it. 8 slides. The first one will talk about analysis. The target audience is women and all that. So, see, when you're designing, when you're thinking of a product, you must have in mind a target audience. Who is it who's going to use my product? Say, for example, if it's green tea, let us take green tea. Now, you might have a target audience, a specific audience. Now, we are not here to fight for, or let's not make a discourse on why women should clean, why not men. No, we are not getting into that kind of a debate. We must have a target audience. Now, when it is green tea, we will think of an audience who will consume green tea. Not everyone will consume. So there might be a certain age group, there might be or the mixed genders, people with certain socio-economic tag, certain profession, education. So who are the target audience? You have to understand that first. Now this is the first slide which talks of analyzing it. Since it is a household product and sorry, household cleaner, usually the target audience is women, okay, who spend a considerable amount of time cleaning their houses. This one, Mehika, you want to know this understanding?
Yes, ma'am, this 1 second one.
Okay, the audience is knowledgeable of. Just a minute. Okay, the audience is knowledgeable of household cleaners. They have tried everything. They spend their time cleaning and knowing what's out there. So you are trying to understand your audience. You know, understanding your audience. What would compel them? What would really, um, make them buy your product? So some kind of a background of your audience, of your target audience. You will first have to set a target audience. Who do you think is going to consume or going to use your product? You must have a target audience in mind. You can't float it for everyone. You can't float it for everyone around. So
Yes,
who is the target audience? And then in the second slide, you're going to basically try and understand the audience, the background of the audience. See, now here it's a household cleaner, and the target audience are women, basically stay-at-home moms. Now these women have a good deal of knowledge about household cleaners because they have been using this very regularly, and they also buy anything that comes new to the market, that is launched new in the market, because they want to try it, and they spend a considerable amount of time cleaning. So they know what's available in the market, what is one of the best options out of the things available out there, and they've also tried the trusted brands and not so trusted brands. So they know a lot about the cleaners, but they are still waiting for the next big thing. uh, According to the survey, or according to these people, those who are analyzing the audience, the household cleaner that they are going to launch is is not only eco-friendly or safe for the children, but it also gives them very sparkling results. That is what is said. That is what is being claimed by the company. The company claims that We are the next big thing in cleaning, in household cleaning, because we reduce the cleaning time, and we also give very good results. Moreover, we are safe for the kids around who are there at home, and we reduce the carbon footprints. We are eco-friendly, we are environmentally safe, and we are also safe for the kids. So probably uh, the understanding of your audience, you must understand what your audience knows, how much have they used, and what are they looking for. Only then you'll be able to uh, you'll be able to achieve what your audience wants. You'll be striving at their needs. So understanding is understanding your audience's needs. Right, Megha? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm
Clear.
trying to understand their needs. How much have they used and what do they need?
Okay,
And how
ma'am.
does your product cater to their needs?
Okay, ma'am. So in this understanding part, we will just explain what they need, what they are waiting for, not
Hmm.
how our products can fulfill their needs, right?
No, because it comes later on, no? How your product
Yes.
fits in.
Okay, ma'am.
That's,
Here just their mentality and what they need.
hmm.
Okay, ma'am.
So this is what you have to do this Tuesday, and I want all of you to complete it by this Tuesday. So the next Tuesday, I mean after this, we are going to start the PowerPoint presentations, your informative speech. So I want all of you, I urge all of you to complete it rather than keep it pending, rather than coming up with excuses. Please try to complete this assignment by this Tuesday. And from the next week onwards, I think we'll start with the informative speech. Is that clear to all of you? Yes? No? Is this
Yes.
clear? Yeah. Okay. Uh, right. So I think we completed the last. No, we were still in the last chapter, isn't it? Selecting a topic. We were in selecting a topic, isn't it? Okay. Hmm. Yeah. So in the last class, we talked about how do we choose a topic. How do we uh, really go about brainstorming topic? And there are two broad categories of choosing a potential topic. Topics you know a lot about, where you are an expertise, you can speak many things on it. Uh, like we had a presentation today, and one of the participants did an informative speech, and he was quite well versed. And I asked, "Are you an expert? Have you been dealing with this?" And he said, "Yes, I have been working on very closely with this topic, so I know a lot of things." That would be a good idea. Topics that you have been working on. uh, where you can share your knowledge and experience, or things where you'd like to do some research. So that would be equally challenging for you and interesting, where you can work and do some research and come up with your speech. Now, what I want you to basically know is how to write this. I'll make you do this. So I give you the broad areas, the topic. You'll have to write down the general purpose, the specific purpose, and uh, the central idea. So please look at this very keenly and very carefully. That whenever you're formulating a specific purpose statement, it has to start with an infinitive phrase to inform my audience about, or to persuade my audience about. Now, when this general purpose is to persuade, the specific purpose also needs to change to persuade my audience about. And we also talked about uh, some tips to formulate specific purpose statement. It should not be in fragments. It should not be a question or a figurative language. We must avoid uh, making a vague or general statement. It has to be specific. We need to limit our purpose statement to one distinct idea and not club in many ideas together. Only one idea. Okay, so literary tutors and Special Olympics donating time to are two very distinct ideas, different ideas. Don't club them together by using conjunctions. Use one idea. You can use conjunctions uh, to to establish the same idea, but not to juxtapose two distinct ideas, two different ideas. No, and we can make out if it's two different ideas or one singular idea. We can make this out. So so you have to be very clear. It's one distinct idea or more than one idea. Don't club them together. So these are some of the tips to formulating your specific purpose statement. All right. Should not be vague. Should not be too general. And then we have the central idea. The central idea is also a one sentence statement. Please be a little careful about the structure. Content is a different part, but I'm talking about the structure. How would you structure that? The central idea should be a one sentence statement, one sentence only. The purpose statement, the specific purpose statement should start with a to infinitive. You can't make it a complete, grammatically complete statement. It has to start with to infinitive. And it should end with one statement only, not more than two sentences. It should look something like this. Is this visible to all of you? Yeah, is this visible to all of you? Yes, no,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. See, you
Yes,
need
ma'am.
to respond, yeah. So this is what exactly you have to do for your assignment. What I'll do is I'll give you a topic. And what you need to do, if you want to take a screenshot, do that. Take a screenshot. Now I will ask you to write uh, two specific purpose statements with two central ideas. For example, music therapy. Topic is music therapy. I'll give you the topic. Now you'll have to frame the general purpose. We have only two general purposes: to inform or to persuade. So you will have to write exactly something like this: topic, general purpose, specific purpose, and central idea. Central idea should be one statement, one sentence. Sorry, one sentence statement. After the full stop, don't write anything else. Specific purpose statement starts with to infinitive, to inform my audience about. Now you take the same topic, music therapy, change the general purpose to persuade. So specific purpose also becomes to persuade my audience about, and the central idea also changes. When you change the purpose statement, the central idea also changes. So you have to do exactly the same thing for your assignment. That's a written assignment, which I'll send it very soon. Let me uh, do this with the other sections and I can mail it together for all the sections. Do you get me now? Is this clear to all of you?
Ma'am, one doubt.
Hmm.
Ma'am, in the question, will it be written to whom we need to write this?
This is the question. This is the assignment question. Read it.
No, ma'am. Actually, I was saying that we need to explain to whom. Like, if it is a medical student or a musical
No, 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 no.
man,
No, no. You don't have to do that. You
then
simply
how can we explain on a particular way?
this. You might have your own target audience. No. Why do you have to inform me who your target audience is?
So that's variable then.
Yeah, but the purpose should not be variable. The purpose is the same, to inform or to persuade. So this is the structure. This is
Okay,
the
ma'am.
structure. This is how you are expected to write. So I will give you topics like this. This. You have how many topics? One, two, three, four, five. So these are the broad topics: crime, education, sports, politics, and technology. Maybe I'll reduce two. I'll make it three, so that you don't have to consume a lot of pages, lot of pages writing this. It suffice with one page, so you don't eat up a lot of memory. That's the concern. So maybe I can reduce that to two. Sorry, three topics. So these are the broad topics. Got it? Topic crime. Okay. Topic is crime. This is how you're going to write. This is the exact structure. You can't make any variables, any changes in the structure. General purpose, colon, to inform. Specific purpose, to inform my audience about whatever you want to. That's a broad area that I've given you. So you can pinpoint it. You can talk about cyber crime. You can talk about uh, crimes. Intellectual crime. Whatever crime you want to. So the specific purpose is to inform my audience about whatever you need to limit it, and then the central idea. Central idea has to be a one sentence statement of whatever you want to accomplish in your speech. Then go on to write the next unit. Topic crime, general purpose, to persuade, specific purpose, to persuade my audience about. Topic remains the same, broader area remains the same, crime. You just need to change the general purpose, specific purpose, and the central idea. So, uh, see, that's the instruction. I'm just going to mail this, but please wait for some time. If you want to, you can start doing it. Uh, I will. I need to complete this unit with other groups also. So once I'm done, I'll mail this assignment to you. That's crime, education, sports, say for example. Or maybe I'll ask you to choose any three. Okay, I'll give all this options, all the five options. I'll ask to choose any three. So compose two specific purpose statements. Do you get the instructions? Do you understand the instruction? One suitable for an informative speech and the other for a persuasive speech. So you take up crime, you formulate a, specific purpose statement for information, give the central idea. See, when you change the purpose statement, the central idea also needs to be changed because you're accomplishing two different things, not the same. Even if the area, even if the broader topic is the same, you still have to take up two different ideas to work on it. So, crime, general purpose to inform, specific purpose to inform my audience about, and central idea is whatever you have written in the specific purpose statement. Crime, general purpose to persuade, specific purpose to persuade my audience, and central idea also changes. Similarly, education, same, to inform my audience, central idea. Education, to persuade my audience. Do you get the point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's the assignment. That would be the assignment for you that you need to submit. Yeah, it's clear to you, all of you, those who are there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we move on to the next unit. We have just 20 minutes. Anything else that you'd like to say, need to ask, or should we proceed with the next unit? Uh, Informative speech. Yeah. Okay. So this is just let us quickly recapitulate what we have done in the informative speech for those who could not or did not listen. Uh, well, the objective is that at the end of the chapter, you'll be able to explain why informative speeches are important, recognize the functions of informative speeches, identify the main responsibilities of a speaker, informative speaker, and describe the four types of informative speeches. So, if you are really concerned, if you're worried about what kind of an informative topic do I choose, then maybe this would help you. Discuss techniques to make the speeches interesting, coherent, and memorable. So, uh, do you need an introduction? No, I guess no. So, mm, well, when you're delivering an informative speech, your primary purpose is to give your audience information that they did not already know. This needs to be highlighted. Information that they did not already know, or to teach them more about a topic with which they are already familiar. If I'm familiar with environmental pollution, climate change, you just need to tell me something more which I did not know. Yeah? So you just need to teach them more about a topic. Now, information helps us to interpret our experiences, shapes our values and beliefs, and alter our self concept. It also gives meaning to situations. It helps keep, okay, I don't think you need this, yeah. Okay, it provides people with knowledge, it shapes our perceptions, serves to articulate alternatives, and enhance our ability to survive and evolve. That's something very interesting that I thought I'd share with all of you and those who are listening. Yeah, I just came across this one interesting document which said that Ashoka was a Buddhist when he attacked Kalinga, when he attacked Odisha, Kalinga. I always believed, and I think most of you might, that Ashoka converted to Buddhism after he saw the bloodshed in Kalinga. But I was wrong, and I just don't speak like that. There are evidences from the texts and the pillar edicts or during the Ashokan time. So he was a Buddhist when he killed numerous people in Odisha, in Kalinga. Now this is something which we may not know. So it could shape our perception. It can serve to articulate alternatives. Uh, okay, you need to be objective, credible. I go to this part. So, yeah. Now, there are four types of informative speeches: definitional speech, descriptive, explanatory, and demonstration. So, if you are still with a lot of self doubt as to what kind of speech topic should I take for informative speech, then this might help. There are four types of informative speeches. One is definitional. What do you do in a definitional speech is you try to define uh, some concepts or theories or philosophies that might be unfamiliar to your audience. So you may begin by giving the historical derivation, classification, uh, or the background of the subject. Say, for example, you want to speak about atoms and molecules. Now, when you're doing that, you can talk about how atoms were discovered. You can, before going on to speak about Dalton's theory, which is the primitive theory of the first theory on atom, you can talk about the historical derivation or the historical significance when the Indian sage Rishi Kanad or the Greek philosopher, they talked about atom, and then go on to talk about Dalton's theory, how that was right, that was the preliminary stage of discovering atom, but Dalton's theory was somehow misleading at some stage, and then you go on to describe how the later inventions, how the later experiments clarified a lot of things about atoms, how from being understood as an indivisible entity, we could really find that atoms could be divisible further, and all this. So you when it is a definitional topic that you are taking, you can go ahead describing the meaning of the concept, how historically it was derived, and how it went on to be evolved to the present stage. What were the changes made, and what is the latest theory on the subject? That could be one. Definitional. The second could be descriptive, where you go on to describe very vividly a person or a place or an object, maybe an animal, anything. So the audience could carry a very clear vision of the subject. They will have a very clear idea about what you're saying. When it is a descriptive text, descriptive writing or speech or whatever, it has to be extremely vivid and specific. So the audience, the readers, sorry, the audience, the listeners, uh, are like they are carried away with the speaker, creating their own mental images of how you describe. So if you're really good in words, if you have a very strong vocabulary of adjectives and verbs, then you must try descriptive writing. All good stories, if you read stories and narratives, you find that they are so vividly descriptive that you can create your own mental images while reading through the story or while listening to a storyteller, isn't it? And you get carried away, you're swayed with the flow of the speaker or the flow of the writer. So it has to be extremely vivid, and you need to have a good collection or good stuff of adjectives that would describe very pertinently a thing, not using common adjectives like good, bad. It has to give a very clear, uh, concrete, uh, concrete idea. So, descriptive could also be an informative speech. For example, if you're going to describe a place that you have visited, and so don't come up with something very ordinary, very common that everyone knows. Maybe you can talk about some typicalities, some very typical things about the place which we don't know. Uh, for example, if you visited, like the other day, I was giving the example of the Sentinelese. It's completely banned. We're not supposed to visit any Sentinelese island in the Andamans. But if you happen to encounter something like that, something very typical, offbeat, then uh, you can speak on that. You see, giving a very general, broad description of a place is very common. So, if you want to describe Bhubaneswar, I can say, well, there are a lot of historical temples in and around. We find a lot of Buddhist artifacts in Bhubaneswar, so we can see the influence of Buddhism. These are very common things, which is out there on the website, on the internet. So maybe you can talk about something very typical, very local, which people from other places do not know about Bhubaneswar. You can describe a ritual, or you can talk about the different flavors, cultural flavors, or some typical food of the place, which has some historical relevance, some mythology that has been around. So you can pick up something like that if you are going in for a descriptive speech. If you're if you're interested to describe a place, so don't make it very commonplace, right? Talk about something very extraordinary, very typical, which we don't know. So descriptive could be one type of an informative speech. You're going to describe a person. We all know about Ronaldo or Beckham, but what are the things that we don't know about him? You come up and tell that. Or what are the things that we don't know about uh, Gandhiji? Uh, did you know that he was he was a racist when he was in South Africa? And you need to back it up with evidences. So things that we don't know, people usually don't read about, come across. Descriptive. Explanatory, if you want to explain something, if you want to uh, explain some inventions, historical events, transformations, or why or how of a subject, then you can also pick up something like this. And see, I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. So you can also come up with some demonstration. You want to demonstrate something, like how to use the calendar function in Outlook, or how to fight fires on a submarine. You want to describe a process, how potato chips are made. That's a demonstration speech, and it also comes under your informative speech. You're informing your audience, right? You need to inform them about something that they did not know before. So that's the punchline. Yes, that's the tagline. something that they did not know before. Even if they did, they probably have never visualized or seen things from this perspective or this angle. I was also telling you about, because most of you were not quite attentive in the class when I was teaching you informative speech. I did relate um, to a tourist guide in the Himachal in Dharamshala, who is a PhD in literature or in history. I don't remember, but he also he owns a bookstore. He reads a lot, and he is not a professional tourist guide, but by choice. So he takes foreigners on treks on the Himalayan mountains, and he tells them, he narrates them stories, the local stories, about the importance of certain temples, certain architecture, or say, for example, mushroom, or some typicality about the tea that we get in the place. So he presents everything in a very localized flavor. Mm. So that is what is required. If you want to demonstrate something, do that. If you want to explain a process, a historical event, anything, you can. Or if you want to describe a person, a place. But what I mean to say is, don't make it very ordinary, don't make it very commonplace, which all of us know. So that stripes your speech of of that curiosity effect. Don't let that happen to your speech. Make it very interesting. Make it so that people are very curious. People have some kind of a curiosity. Um, if you want to talk about economy, money and profit making, business, do it in a very interesting way, so that your audience is hooked to listen to what you have to say. Yeah, see, so these are the three goals that you need to remember: arousing interest in your audience. If you talk too much about finance, money making, marketing, I don't know how many of them will be interested. But if you make it too very rigid and uh, very technical, then I think your audience will lose an interest in that. So arouse interest and curiosity, presenting information in a way that can be understood. Now that's important. Don't be too technical. uh, and helping the audience remember what you have said. So in in quick succession, you can maybe repeat your key ideas so that your audience remembers what you have said. Right? Build in repetition. Use visuals, which you are using. Yes. And don't club in too much of information, too much of writing. Use some good figures. If you are, if it is, there's a lot of data and statistics, do that. You know, show that in the visuals through graphs. You can use humor. You can tell a story. The point is, you need to stimulate the audience. You need to make it engaging for the audience. Anything else that you'd like to? Yeah, avoid information overload. Hmm. Okay. So, any questions? Now, this is for the informative speech that uh, that you'll probably deliver in a couple of weeks' time, next to next week. And you can't skip this activity. Are you even listening? Am I audible?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. So I think you got it right, and this might help you in choosing a very effective topic and an interesting topic for your informative speech. For example, rather than getting too much into, if you want to speak about submarines, don't get too technical because I guess we aren't a very technical audience here. We aren't a very focused group of people here. We have diverse interest. Your audience members have diverse interest. So if you make it too technical, if you go to the nitty gritties, technical nitty gritties of how to operate a submarine, uh, I don't think. I think people won't be very interested at certain point of time. So don't get into too technical subjects. Yeah. So you can choose from a wide range of topics. From but try to make it interesting. Try to uh, talk something new that your audience members do not know. That's important. Okay. Uh, Anything you'd like to say? No questions? Okay. So I'll see you on Tuesday with your presentations ready. If someone happens to talk to Deep, please tell him that he needs to, if he's not well, then maybe he can nominate someone on his behalf who can coordinate the activity on Tuesday. And if he's okay, if he's fit and fine, then he can do it. But please give the names of your team members to Deep. Yeah, for a smooth conduct of the activity. That's number one. Number two is please also give your names along with your title of the speech topic to him so that he can sequence it out and moderate it. If you have no other questions, then I think we can conclude with this. Yeah. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, ma'am.